we are making an Apex Legends Arenas tier list. So right off the bat, I'm going to level with you guys. F tier does exist. I think there is an F tier legend, and that legend, you ready for this? Doesn't exist. There is no F tier legend. But I actually am confidently going to say that Mirage is the worst legend still. His decoys didn't really do anything. It's pretty obvious that they're decoys. One of the only things that makes him strong in Battle Royale is that you have the element of surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker.
You know, you don't expect it to be a clone because you're not expecting Mirage. However, in Arenas, you know exactly what the enemy team has. So they see a Mirage running in a straight line. They're probably not going to shoot it. And they might shoot just to be safe, but it's like not that big of a deal. The only good thing that Mirage has going for him is the fact that he can res invisible, but there are like 3 other legends that can revive much more efficiently and safer than Mirage can. And I don't think that's enough to put him in anything but D tier. I'm going to stick with my guts here though, and I'm going to put Loba in D tier because every single time that I whipped out Loba's stick, like don't get me wrong, I would whip out her ultimate, I would yoink some shield batteries, a Phoenix kit and a med kit, but you can only yoink 2 of those things. Or you can wait until the care package comes in. If you already survived that long where the care package came in, you could just walk up to it usually pretty safely. Like, it seems ridiculous to pay for your ultimate just to get a better gun when you could just pay for a better gun. Her Q is fine, but there are better mobility characters. You can't do what makes her ultimate so strong in the first place, which is yoink all of the ammo. Not good. Like, not good at all. Speaking of surprisingly not good, this next legend may cause some hate. People in the comments, people in the chat are going to be super duper angry with this one. Okay, please forgive me. Valkyrie just does not work in Arenas. What makes Valkyrie so good is her mobility. Her ultimate is insane. But in Arenas, her ultimate does less. Her jetpack, which is usually pretty incredible, is limited in Arenas. The moment you run out of gas, it's gone. It's unfortunate because I think Valk is an A tier legend in general, like in Battle Royale. But in Battle Royale, the reason why she's A tier is because all of her abilities are solid for rotations. I'm actually going to put Wattson in C tier. She's at the bottom of C tier though. Her fences are so useless. Like, yes, you can block like a room off, but you have a total of either 2 fences or 3 connected fences. But what's the point of that? The only saving grace she has is that if you own the zone in Arenas, being able to control it with a mixture of your traps and more specifically her ultimate, which gives you some free healing, that can be very strong in Arenas. Realistically, majority of the time, people are going to be shooting that ultimate the moment they see it, right? But her passive healing, as you know, it exists, is nice, and her ultimate being able to heal and block grenades can be also very strong. However, it's just not worth running in your team, which is why she's at the bottom of C tier. Up next is Crypto. Crypto underwhelmed me like crazy. The fact that you get 1 drone, EMP cost 500 coins, and that's the only thing that makes Crypto really solid. However, there are some maps and some positions you can be in where Crypto can be very strong, and you can use his drone like a camera. Like, you like set it up in a really decent spot, like in a tree, in a bush, in a corner, and it becomes more like a recon thing that you don't have to be manning the whole time. But otherwise, to get the most value out of his EMP, you're going to be split from your teammates slightly, and even then, it's like the EMP doesn't really do enough to warrant its ridiculous cost. However, he still has a little bit more utility. I just think they got to buff him a lot more. So for that reason, I think Crypto C tier. I'm gonna put Wraith. Now that I've played her enough, she doesn't do anything, and her portal does jack. Her portal does absolutely nothing, so her ultimate just has no value. The one thing that she has going for her, which is why she's not D tier, is the fact that her Q is nice. It can go in, secure a kill, get out, but it doesn't give her a speed boost or anything, so you can't really use it defensively, because the moment you Q, like a teammate shoots you and you Q away, if they can chase you, which a lot of these legends can do, you're dead. Like, you're absolutely dead. I think that's all the C tier legends. I think everyone else has like at least some stronger utility to them. No, I lied. Caustic. Caustic gets 3 traps for free, but what makes Caustic strong is the fact that he can continuously just like put traps down and stuff, right? The problem with Caustic is once you're out of traps, you just get pushed so easily, man. Caustic definitely has more utility than everyone before him. He definitely does a lot on defense. He does a lot when people are trying to push you. And he definitely can do so much with his ultimate. So I don't think he's necessarily bad. I think that's why he's at the top of C tier. But I think that trap characters like Wattson and Caustic, because of the limited amount of traps you can put down in Arenas, just get a big demotion down than they are in Battle Royale. At the bottom of B tier, I'm putting Fuse. Fuse surprised me. His tactical is actually pretty great because it can create a lot of space, but if you stick somebody with it, it just causes so much chaos, and they have to split it out because it has such a big radius. I found his ultimate to be very strong by stopping people from going in a way or trapping people. The fact that he can carry like 6 arc stars and 6 thermites is insane. Grenades are super strong. I think Fuse actually has potential to be a solid B tier legend. He's not a must pick in any ways, but if you're running Fuse, I could see it working out decently for you guys. Same thing goes for Horizon. Horizon has really solid mobility in this game mode, but I found myself wanting more in my mobility characters. Horizon is extremely good in some maps where the verticality is insane. Artillery, hillside. Take a place like Phase Runner though, her Q maybe not as strong as it could be, because most places you can just climb, it's not a big deal. Plus her nerf made it so that her Q isn't as amazing as it used to be. It's still very strong. Her ultimate on the other hand is pretty great, but you have to be buying grenades as well to really get the most value out of it. And people are going to expect it a little bit more than they know they're running Horizon, so they'll shoot it and get ready for it. But you can still catch people off guard and break doors. So I think Horizon is a solid B tier legend. I found Rampart to be incredible. Rampart is the next B tier legend. I think her walls are actually great in maps that are a little less open. Like you don't want to be too caught up in the open. If you create a good enough of a structure with your walls, indoors, outdoors, it doesn't really matter. People are going to be afraid to push you, and they're gonna have to waste their ammo and their time poking through the walls to break them. And the walls aren't too expensive, so you can buy a bunch of walls. You can have like up to 6 walls, I think, and it's pretty great. Revenant would be A tier if he can get his ultimate every round. His ultimate is literally the best part of his kit. His silenced is fine. It does stop enemies from pushing in, but your abilities aren't as important in arenas. Like they're important, but since you have a limited amount of abilities, you don't mind being silenced, especially if you're already out of your abilities. So enemies will just walk right through your silence and they won't care. They'll just fight right through it. His climbing is solid in some maps, especially like hillside. And in combination with an Octane, you can do some Revenant Octane pushes that are amazing in Battle Royale. They're still good in arenas, but he's still a very solid B tier legend. I'm going to put Seer at the bottom of A tier. Seer's scan is still really strong. Seer counters some of the best legends in the game because he stops the res, and I think that's a big deal. His ultimate is very strong. His ultimate can give you so much location of an idea of where enemies are. By far, the best thing about his kit is his tactical. You knock an enemy or you weaken an enemy and you're chasing them, you can stop them from healing, which is so detrimental. Bangalore is a big surprise. Bangalore in Battle Royale has always been decent, but I think in arenas she is incredible. Her smokes can create a good amount of space, can help you heal, can help you take the bins, can help you take the care packages for free. The best part about the game is that you can buy digi-threats. Like you can literally buy digi-threat for your P2020 on the first round. So you can see through the smokes, you and your teammates can see through the smokes. It forces the enemy teams to play differently. Like they have to spend a lot of their money on digi-threats. So I think Bangalore just does a lot on a team that you work around it. I do think she's situational to an extent. Like I don't think she's a must pick. I think there are some maps where she works really well on. The lava map Overflow I think is a really good map for Bangalore because it's a lot more level playing field. Another A tier legend has to be Octane. Octane is incredible. Octane's jump pad is really good. His stim, not so much. I feel like you don't really need to use his stim half the time. Like, yeah, maybe you want to run away, maybe you want to chase someone, but it's not as good of a mobility as another legend that we'll talk about in a second. His passive healing is great. I just think he's just slightly outclassed. The next 4, I think, are interchangeable in terms of the fact that they're all S tier in their own way. It's just up to your preference. But I would say the worst of the 4 would have to be Pathfinder. Pathfinder's S tier in this, which is awesome. He's way better in arenas than he is in a regular battle royale because you can buy as many grapples as you want and go in, secure a kill, and come back. He just has so much mobility. His zip line is great for getting your team to the bins or to the specific area quicker. He obviously doesn't have a passive ability, so I guess they don't have to worry about that. Pathfinder literally does so much for your team because it's so hard to chase after a Pathfinder. Like you have to basically have your own Pathfinder to chase Pathfinder. So that's why I think Pathfinder is like a must pick and you should run them in arenas. Next up is Gibby. Gibby is obviously Gibby. As long as the bubble is what it is, he's always going to be a must pick. The bubble is incredible on most maps. Like I think the more open the map is, the better Gibby becomes because you and your team can safely heal. You don't have to worry about them pushing. His arm shield is great in arenas. The fact that you can carry a bunch of bubbles in the back pocket is great. His ultimate is amazing in arenas. If they don't have an enemy Gibby or to protect themselves from a Gibby ultimate, they're just dead. The fact that you can get gold bags for 250 every round also is what makes Gibby over the top because you can revive for free basically. You don't have to worry, like if you get that revive off, your team's back up. Bloodhound, say your teammate gets shot at, you do a Bloodhound scan, you know they're going to push you or they're not pushing you and stuff. That information, that knowledge is so strong. Plus, wall hacks are just so amazing, man. The wall hacks are just busted. If you don't want to run Bloodhound, you want to run just like different legends, it's fine. I guess you don't necessarily need a scan. I just think it's better to have it, especially if you're seeing other Bangalores. Bangalores are pretty popular. If you don't know where the people are coming from, you can scan behind. Like, it's just really strong. Our final legend, and I think the best legend in arenas, is Lifeline, which is amazing because Lifeline is normally not even like B tier in regular battle royale. Lifeline gets a gold bag every round. Like, it costs 250 and you get a gold bag. Lifeline gets so much value out of the gold bag, more than any other legend. You literally can keep fighting and res your teammate on the spot. It's the reason why they nerfed Lifeline in the first place. They got rid of like the res shield, and even then without it, she's still great. Her care package is decent. I think it's a little too slow, so you don't need it, but it's not a bad choice. It gives you free heals and a free gun. 500 coins to get like 2 heals and a gun. And the gun's usually pretty kitted with a bunch of ammo. And I think like a solid team composition could be like Lifeline, Bloodhound, Path, Lifeline, Bloodhound, Gibby, Lifeline, Gibby, Path. Like, any of those combinations are gonna push you over the top. You can replace Pathfinder with an Octane if you're more comfortable with that. You can replace a Gibby with a Bangalore if you want to do more of like a smoke scan composition. But either way, I think you guys are going to find that any of these top 4 S tier legends work really well in tandem with each other. But that is it. That is my Arenas tier list. I hope you guys enjoy it. I know some of you guys are probably going to be in the comments and be really angry about the positions I put some of these legends in, and I'm looking forward to that. Please, if you disagree, let me know what your tier list is in the comments down below. I'm looking forward to reading them and being like, really? Come on. With that, I will catch you guys later.